Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Legend of the Five Rings story. I am the Ravnos Archon. My name is Will, and I'll be your storyteller this evening. Last, we left off with our samurai and our one Shugenja, Ben. We opened up with the peasants coming to clear out the field for the obstacle course for the next day's events. The doji went looking for his associates after dinner, and they exchanged some pleasantries until the crane noticed that the dragon was a little bit mad at him. They explained how they did not appreciate how he tried to set them up for marriage, as that had been their choice, and it should be their choice. And so she left them alone to chat as he excused himself for the evening. The next day, Tamori wrote a couple of enthusiastic letters, one of which I'm not going to reveal until that time is appropriate, but I do have that note for myself. And after a somber bit of realization, Doja returned to the crane encampment, where he set about hurting anyone and everyone who would stand and duel with him as practice. And after realizing that his daughter had witnessed his behavior, he sat down with her and shared the story of the first time that he saw his father lose his composure in a duel with a lion, and how he never saw him in the same light again. And together they realized that some apologies have to be doled out, and that decorum must be withheld. The next morning, invitations were sent out for everyone to join the doji at the tea house, where they got to see that their belligerent monk associate was still belligerent and still being a monk. But Soshi woke up to a couple of kanji written out in the dirt next to his bed. One was the symbol for mountain, one was a symbol for time, and one was a symbol for gold. Bayushi Saruman, the tea house master, offered Tamori Mori to see their kinsmen, back to Dragonlands, but did warn them that Scorpion Lands are rough for escorted travelers. And we left off with the Soshi heading to the market in search of a finger of jade, while Doji and Tamori headed over to speak to their crab friend, and that's where we're going to pick up with our beautiful faces. It's good to see our body again. I can't wait to bring out the era that you love so much again. That's what we love. So we're going to pick up with Ben. Soshi has made his way over to the marketplace. There's stalls and little full body kind of windows that look like they're just extensions from the peasants' homes. And as you do a lap, you won't find any actual like fingers of jade, but you'll find that jade has been woven into different pieces of jewelry or pottery here and there. Nothing bigger than fingernail. There you go.
That is unfortunate, but not unforeseen. I will, of course, acquire it anyway. It could still prove useful.
Sure. There is one artisan that has a beautiful necklace that almost looks like the jade is at the heart of a phoenix, and the little pieces of clay that have been woven together are shattered. It looks like a shattered kind of phoenix that comes up, and the wingtips come around the middle of your neck, and then it makes it look like there's just this hanging phoenix on your chest. And as you pick it up to inspect it, you'll notice that there are little specks of black in the jade itself.
That is interesting. I will examine it, and part of that examination is going to use an ability that I continuously forget that I have,
Mhm.
which is not that one, not that one, not that one, not that one. Oh, fire! I've never used that. Um,
It's interesting to see what you have and haven't used, huh?
yeah, well, I haven't had a lot of reason to set things on fire since this started. I'm going to use my Reflections of Panku,
Okay.
which will tell me if what its powers and abilities are, if it happens to have any.
Hmm.
But it is also useful for sniffing out curses, uh,
Nice. Okay.
things that might be contained if it's like a prayer scroll or an activation item, just in case whoever made this beautiful piece
Hmm.
was a little bit more in the know than your average artisan.
Sure. Um, it's a water ring. It's a water spell. It's level 1, so that's not too difficult to get your roll off. So it's gonna be did you just make the roll already? No, you did.
I did.
Okay. 10 TN 10, you got a 19, so that's good. There is nothing magical about the item itself. It is a very mundane piece of art, but the specks of black in the jade have told you that it has absorbed taint. Something in this man's life has led him to accumulate taint in such a way that the little bit of jade that he has protected him.
I am now intrigued by this artisan. What do they look like?
He's a young man, maybe mid 20s, you would imagine. Uh, Very frail, kind of thinnish, wispish beard. He has a very strong mustache, though. Long black hair, very light brown eyes, and not a muscular frame, but definitely looks like he lifts things on the regular. Um, and his stall is a little makeshift table with a cloth, and he has a couple of boxes that he's stacked as a seat for himself. Um,
Be it Ada or any clanmon?
no, no clanman, but he's not Edda. Might be just a peasant of the village.
This piece is fascinating. Where did you acquire it?
He bows low to you. I I made it, samurai.
You did.
My mother taught me to work with clay.
Well, your mother is exemplary,
Was
and
samurai.
I offer a small bow. Her legacy obviously lives on within you. This is true artistry.
You honor me.
And as he kind of holds the jade piece, he's kind of pressing it between his gloved thumb and forefinger.
Mhm.
You've lived quite a life.
Um, it has been rough recently, but the necklace has helped.
Tell me of your troubles.
I
What has been rough?
my my troubles are minuscule, samurai, compared to what you must face on a daily basis.
The thing about trouble is that it takes on different forms based on how one sees it. The troubles of an ant are different than the troubles of a man. The troubles of a cow are different than the troubles of deer. But there are certain travails that all things are harmed by, certain stresses, certain pains. Unless I miss my guess, you've experienced some of those pains.
He nods.
Otherwise, this might look a little bit more pristine, with kind of gestures to the jade. Tell
It,
me,
it
how
has
did
helped me
the
sleep. Um, my my parents were killed when the bandits took over the temple in the north. Before Miwa-sama arrived to take control of our lawless lands. I was plagued with nightmares until I finished the necklace, and has since helped me find a good night's rest. So I hope it does the same for you, Samurai.
and you no
Vows.
longer require it?
If
These nightmares have ceased?
if it will help the Empire, my nightmares are a small price to pay.
Speaking as someone who is intimately familiar with nightmares, I wish I had your fortitude. I'm going to attempt. Let's go with. I want to see if I can get more information out of him regarding.
Sure.
Because standard nightmares don't leave taint. Because even mine, which
Mhm.
are a legitimate curse,
Mhm.
doesn't,
Yeah,
do that.
sure.
So I would like to see if I can maybe get him to open up a little bit more.
Sure.
Would that be etiquette or sincerity?
I think sincerity. Or are
Yeah,
you
because this.
being sincere, or are you trying to be manipulative?
No, I feel like we have enough in
Because you
common
you
so
are a
far.
hero of the people,
Yeah,
no? So
I am very much a hero of the people. Um, so I'm going to try that. And I'm not
well,
going to use my deceit specialty because I'm not trying to ferret him out or,
look at you.
uh, yeah. Uh, I know I'm not angling for justification. I'm sorry.
Right?
Let's do
So,
that then.
yeah.
All right. So
So
that is a
sincerity.
39.
Okay. Um, very easily after a moment of going back and forth of him kind of treating it like a gift exchange where he has to deny you 3 times and you assure him this is for the betterment of the empire and whatnot. Um, he says, um, the the bandits that took the temple in the north, we were afraid that they would lash out at us before the Miwa Dono and the imperial samurai that traveled with him came to protect us. There was talk that the bandits had a Maho Sukai amongst them, and that the reason they had taken the temple was to defile it. But nothing has really come of that.
If you were put to it, would you be able to offer directions to this place? The bandits still have control of the shrine?
No, no. I have I have been to the shrine in the last month, and they have abandoned it. It has fallen into disrepair.
Hmm. Well, I don't have an exact count on me,
Mhm.
because I don't know quite how a lot of the systems work, but can I assume, given my status and the fact I have the wealthy trait, um, I probably have enough to give this person a fairly decent financial.
The
Um,
the the way it's supposed to work is that you're supposed to have one of your servants handle the mercantile situation. So I would assume that you have a marker of
Yeah.
clan representation. So whatever you take from the marketplace will be reimbursed from the Scorpion Clan coffers.
Okay.
But if you want to give him like from your personal,
Yes, this is going to
yeah,
be because I'm considering this a. I originally was just going to use this as a component in my experiments, but I now feel a kinship with this nice uh, non-samurai man.
okay,
So I will
this peasant,
yes, I finally found the peasant I like, as opposed to the rest of the group who has their own pets that
yeah,
they keep among the peasant class.
you don't
So
like the
I
Edda?
will. No, I don't.
Oh,
Um, what is your name, craftsman?
he bows low, puts his head on the table. I am called Rugio.
If you could DM me the spelling when you have a chance, I'd
R
appreciate it.
Rujyo, Rugio.
Okay, Rugio, I am Soshi Tetsuro, and you are a true artist, and I will reward you accordingly. Thank you for your
I
sharing this with me.
I don't
Thank you for
need
sharing your
anything
tale with
extra,
me.
samurai. I know my place in the empire. I am honored that this will help you in some way.
Oftentimes, our place within the empire is what we make of it. And when the fates allow others to see our place in it, and I give a kind of eschewing decorum.
Mhm.
I believe it's a koku is
Sure.
the and I think one is what, a year's
A
worth of
year's
rice is the.
worth of rice.
I
This man's gonna
ask
be
him
rich.
if yeah, I ask him if this is appropriate.
That is too much, my lord.
Then should you acquire more and you create more of your art, would you do me the honor of considering me first in your potential people that you will gift it to?
As long as I draw breath, samurai, of course.
Then I will take the new necklace, and I've bought a friend.
Yep, you sure did. Uh, do you put the necklace on?
No, because I don't know what it's going to do to me yet, because I have Shadow Arm. That's part of my experiment.
Ooh. All right. So as you head out of the market back to your Scorpion territory, we'll switch over and cut to the crab encampment, where a very different vibe is being vobed, as we discussed
You're
earlier.
gonna steal. You're gonna steal my verbiage.
No, I came up with vobed.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
Let the
I
record show
no, I don't
that
think you
that
did.
was absolutely me in
Mm,
a private conversation, and then Chewy
no,
chose a public forum
no.
to rob it.
I came up with vobed. I literally did the Veni Vidi Vici with vobed, and you were like, I like
Lies.
that. Okay.
Lies.
Okay. Let's see if you survive tonight then. But
Let's go, bitch.
at Kuni Sango's tent, there is a small cauldron of bubbling water, and you see that there are 3 ceramic sake bottles just floating in it, and servants have come over. They've placed a drinking cup in front of each of you. And there is a plate, a circular plate that fits on top of the cauldron, where some of the excess heat has been tapped so that you can place meat and stuff, vegetables, and cook while you drink. And they bring over strips of meat, little strips of chicken, different kind of vegetables, sauces for dipping, or oils for flavors and things like that. And she, unlike all the other women that I think Doji and Tamori have dealt with in the town, where they sit knees together, sitting on their what's it called, their calves and whatnot. She is sitting almost like a classic 80s CD cover. You know, she's got the lean to the side, the leg is up, the other leg is.
Sorry, some of us weren't born in that decade.
Look
so
up
you're
Michael
gonna have
Jackson.
to-
Look up Michael Jackson's bad cover art, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking. I'm hurt too, Pete, and you're like 18 years older than I am. So
Okay, instead of playing the game tonight, can we all just read Peter? Like,
no, he'll start crying.
That depends. How old is Peter again?
82.
72?
Do you have to add 20 years to me?
Yeah.
No, he's like 33.
Okay,
right?
cool. Yes, you are old. All right,
Yeah.
excellent.
He's older than Jesus. That's what matters.
Correct.
So she's kind of splayed out. She's using like 3 or 4 pillows. Incredibly comfortable. No sign of decorum here, but that's something that you've come to expect from the crab.
Yeah.
And she motions, and her servant serves everyone their drinks, and then she grabs a piece of steak and just kind of puts it on the grill. So, how can I be of service to the two of you?
Well, when I knelt down to eat, I put my katana behind me.
Okay.
And I don't partake with all the decorum I normally do.
Okay.
I'm a little more comfortable. I've been around crab enough. Yeah, that you know.
Okay.
This is absolutely gonna provoke Tamori to giggle.
Oh yeah, Tomori's probably shocked.
No, I'm not shocked because. So what your perspective is like, I'm hip and I'm cool, but my perspective is you're being like, hey, I'm not gonna put my chopsticks exactly how I normally do.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't use chopsticks. I use my fingers.
Ooh.
There's definitely like a couple of snickers that happen
He's woven hard.
on Tamori's end. Like, this is you being that.
Bad boys for life.
Whatever energy the crab has, I match.
Okay.
Entirely.
I first thank you for your hospitality.
Of course.
The tea is exquisite.
She looks around. Where did you find it?
Oh, was it? You said we had teacups, right? Or is it sake?
Sake. It's sake
sake.
only.
Wait, is it sake or is it gourd?
No, it's sake. It's sake.
Oh, then I say the sake is exquisite.
Okay.
So, I think you already been informed of what happened a few days ago.
I have.
Yes. I've come to ask a favor. I've become aware of a certain ritual that the crab do to their weapons that allow their weapons to be able to harm these creatures. And I would hope that you, understanding the gravity of the situation, would bless us with that blessing upon our blades.
Or we can trade for something.
Well, the favor kind of already implied that. As you know, my family has made it a point to house and feed any hunters that come into our lands.
Seizo has written to me, yes.
I have seen the importance of their mission firsthand, and I will do everything in my power and my family as well to assist them.
She grabs her wakizashi, and I think this is the first time that Tamori Mori has ever seen irreverence with something that is supposed to be treasured, because she grabs it and she just scratches like the top of her back with it, and then brings it around, and you can see dangling from it is a little, what looks like a jade crab.
Mhm.
She goes, I was given this by my master when I was sent to the Shadowlands for the first time. It has served me. If I can repay the kindness you have shown my student, and she starts to unbind it, this is yours. I hope that it serves you as it has served me. And the only time that you have ever seen her so far have any kind of decorum is when she puts it in the palm of her hand, and then she places the other hand underneath her hand like she is offering a sacred gift, and she stretches her hands over the boiling water.
The look over my face is not I'm playing politics. It's 100%. I can't take that.
Yeah. and she plays.
It's not I'm playing the game. It's straight out. I can't take that.
I'll take it.
She plays the game though, and she just kind of, again, please, for the kindness you showed my student. I'm not going into the Shadowlands anytime soon. And she sees Tamori take it out of her hands. Good.
We will return this to you after our deeds are done.
Hopefully.
Oh no, either one of us will return it.
Well, hopefully, if it lasts.
It will. Oh, with that jade, it will last.
All right.
Do you I do not wish to impose, but do you happen to have a second one somewhere in the camp? Because there are two of us.
I don't have, unfortunately.
I look at her, I look at them, and I say, "You're carrying it then."
Deal.
She grabs the sake bottle that has been used to pour your drinks, and she shakes it, and she goes, well, I'm not finishing this by myself, so drink up. We have 2 more to go through. And by the time you're done with the first round, she does motion, and they bring over 3 more bottles.
Jesus Christ.
And she goes, you don't have anywhere to go for the rest of the day, right? And she motions, and they start to serve the 4th round.
Do I have anything?
It is the rest day. They're building the obstacle course.
I don't.
So
Then no, I don't.
okay.
Though I would want to check in on my daughter at some point.
Sure. I mean,
There's once I put the wakizashi away, there's like a look to Doji. If you have somewhere to be, you can go wherever.
No, I really don't have anything. Just I have to make sure I spend some time with my wife and my daughter today. You never know when. And I you know what? At that point I will recite a poem, like a famous poem about cherishing your moments with the people.
Yeah. And there's a bit of an eye roll from the crab. And she looks at Tamori like, I can bind that to your sword if you'd like. She gave you her trinket. She didn't give you her sword.
Yeah. Yeah, bind it to your sword.
Sure. So I take out mine and hand it to her.
Okay. And you're not sure if it's all the extracurricular activities that you've been having
Okay.
since your ball washing incident.
I love that. That's the one that you want to like. That's the turning point.
That's the
It
turning
was,
point.
it was a very important moment. So yeah.
Yeah. That specific slapping of
100%.
throat.
Just like the water just being splashed up. That's a fixed point in time. Like that cannot be changed by Doctor Who or any other Time Lord.
Nope. You're right.
So there's a moment where you're not sure if after the ball washing incident and your extracurricular activities, if you're just more sensitive, but her hand on yours lingers a little longer than you remember.
Yeah, I was kind of like hinting to Peter to get the fuck out of here, but he didn't really get the hint, and he recited a fucking poem.
He did. He sure did.
So,
well, hold on.
So
after the second bottle,
Mhm.
I was going to excuse myself, but it would be rude that she brought 3 more bottles, and I'm going to take off.
What about this bitch? Do you think she's gonna care if you're rude?
Actually, Crab, when it comes to drinking, it is very rude.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, there's certain things they're not all proper, but when it comes to we are having drinks, if you go, I'm bailing out, it's an insult.
Yeah. But her hand lingers on yours a little longer than it should, but she does tie her trinket to your sword, and then as her hand kind of slides down the handle of your sword, it is very clear that she is being provocative.
Do I notice this?
Yeah.
Please do.
I will wait like a minute so it's not obvious.
Like there's a moment where her hand like goes down the handle.
Yeah.
And then as her finger comes back up, she is looking right at you.
I will finish my sake.
Mm-hmm.
I will pour both of them sake.
Okay.
And then I will give a low bow. Thank you again for your generosity.
Of course. Thank you.
My friend, I look at Mori. My friend, I will see you maybe for dinner. If not, you're invited for breakfast, as you always are.
Thank you. Any more poems you want to recite before you skedaddle?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to say a risque one.
Ooh.
A risque? What is the poem going to be? Titties
I
and
don't
pink?
know if
Like,
Doji even knows any of those.
Yeah.
You know what?
Doji's-
Doji does, because I recite them to my wife in private.
Ooh,
Yeah, but they're like Ned Flanders level risque. They're not like
something that hints at biting a pillow.
It's the Rokugan equivalent of show them to me.
Yeah.
Can I smell your dick? I think
so I say it.
Poetry.
I give a bow and I leave.
Okay. Epic. And there's a moment where she watches Doji leave, and then she kind of looks over at you, Tamori, and she's just like, that almost dried it up entirely.
Oh.
Yeah, I was.
Damn it.
I was hoping that he would. He'd say no, but two strikes, the hints didn't get.
Crane.
Yeah.
And then she opens the flap to her tent. Shall we?
After you.
And there's some boot slinging.
Boot slinging.
Yeah.
Roll in the hay.
Roll in the hay. Very, very innocent, obviously, because there's nothing that screams that she is BDSM about her whatsoever.
Right. Or a freak a leak. It's fine.
No, yeah, you know. But the next day, do you stay the whole evening, or do you, once you're like done, do you fuck off?
I feel like Tamori is an all-night kind of person.
Okay. Noted.
Especially at the beginning of their sex journey that has now started because of ball washing. Is that what
ball
we're starting
washing,
with?
That's when it started.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah. I think the ball washing really set the tone for the rest of their sexual endeavors. Yeah.
That started everything.
Yeah, the BWI.
It really did.
The ball washing.
The
There was a pause at the poetry, like there was a harsh pause, but then we overcame it. So like
did.
now we're here.
You did, yeah.
I like how the scorpion is the most traditionally chaste member of the group.
Traditionally. Bitch, you almost made me laugh. The next day, then, everyone will wake up in their own encampments. Yeah. Oh,
I have something I need to do before we.
I was gonna ask about something too.
You got your experimentation.
All right, I'll be fucking. Give me.
Yeah. So you're fine. You're fine.
See you later.
Yeah. So Ben, what did you want to experiment with the?
Well, I need to see how this stuff reacts to the arm.
Sure.
Because to the best of my knowledge, the arm is not taint per se.
Correct.
But I need to be aware of certain things. Mm-hmm. So once I am alone, I will disrobe and well, I have to, because I'm strapped in, like I have that harness for it. So once the top of the kimono comes down, he can untuck it. And he just kind of gently places the non-speckled side against the palm of the hand to observe what happens.
Against the extra hand?
The shadow hand, yeah.
Okay. There's a moment, and it looks as if the hand is static for a second. It's having a hard time staying present in the material plane, and then there is this sudden kind of dimming, as if all of the light in your tent is being absorbed by it, and it becomes more solid. And you'll notice that all of the black specks in the jade are gone.
So has the jade been restored, or is there just no more jade left?
It looks like the jade has been restored.
Okay, I was going to say, if I ate the jade, that's bad.
Make an earth roll.
Okay, I have earth.
Yeah, whole two. Woo.
Well, so just the ring, just the ring,
just worth earth ring.
This isn't a game where I have points I can add to this. So
this is not a game.
I'm just going to roll that then, and hope for the best. So.
Let's hope for the best. Let's see if the kami are with you in this endeavor.
Well, I told it to roll, but it did not roll, so I'm going to try to roll again.
Okay. Oh, there it goes.
That's a 6. Oh, wait,
Woo!
No.
No.
Well, I like your roll better.
I was testing it. That's what I was doing. You rolled a 6.
Okay.
You rolled
your
garbage.
roll was much better, though.
Mine was fantastic, yeah.
Can I keep your roll?
Nope.
I'd like your roll better.
No.
Okay.
I'll tell you what.
That.
I will trade you the 7 for your 2.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So there's
take that 11.
Yeah. Because a 6 wasn't going to get you shit. There's a moment where you feel the instance where the specks were absorbed by the hand, and it almost looked like there was a little whirlpool of black kind of digging into where your flesh was kind of sealed shut and cauterized, and it almost felt like you could feel every inch of the new extremities. Like it wasn't just you could think where your fingertips end in the hand, you actually could feel for a brief instant, and then they were gone.
Yeah, because right now I'm kind of treating it like a prosthetic.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no feeling there, but for a second I thought I could feel it.
Yep. Like where the extremities ends. Like you can feel it when it hits something, when it picks something up. Like you can feel that. But as far as like knowing
But
what
there's
something,
no nerves.
yeah, knowing what
Yeah,
something is feels like is not there. Like everything
yeah,
feels
there's no tactile,
Yeah.
like there's no, tactile sensation. It's just an awareness
Mhm.
that this was sensation.
correct.
So my hypothesis is that in order for me to be able to feel, this thing has to feed.
It's a good
And it
hypothesis.
feeds on bad things. But one wonders if in eating the bad things, I become the bad thing because I feel more alive. This is fascinating and I love it. So I'll pop the necklace on and
Okay.
eat my meal. And
The clay is cold to the touch, and even if you wear it the whole night, it never acclimates to your skin temperature. It never becomes warm. It's always cold to your touch. But moving over to the crane encampment, what is Doji doing before we
So,
head into the third day of
I have a question.
Mhm.
It's kind of a weird thing to ask.
Sure.
When we came over, right? Because accidents happen and you never know what's going to happen. Do we happen to have, like, okay, I am uncomfortable carrying my daughter's future honor with me
Mhm.
in case it breaks in battle.
Correct.
So I rather find another katana
Okay.
and put this one away.
Gotcha.
So either I will have to requisition one, I don't know if we have extras, or I need to find a smith.
Okay. You do have extras.
Okay, then I will literally just requisition one.
Okay.
And then go back to my tent, spend some time with my wife, and make sure I leave the katana there.
Okay. And there's a moment you see that as more and more time has passed, more and more of her strength is waning. And when you get to her, you can see that she's been crying.
What's going on?
Just getting used to the thoughts, what to expect when we go home. My home, in particular.
I know. Those thoughts have passed my mind as well. But
I don't like what they're doing to me.
there are many people in your court that never particularly liked you, and they're taking advantage of the situation.
I'm afraid they're going to win.
They won't. They won't. I will be by your side every moment. They're not going to win.
She nods and she looks at the sword that you've chosen. You can pick a dragon, Mark Craftsman.
I just grabbed the nearest one I could find. Oh, what are you talking about? The one we made for?
No, the one that you picked. Yeah.
Oh no, I just picked one from our requisition because I'm pretty sure this one is going to break also. We only had one blade that was able to be blessed. And our little dragon is carrying that one. My job will be to distract whatever she's going to kill.
She wheels herself over to you and she grabs your face with her hands. For all the talk that you have instilled in our daughter about honor and what the blade represents. You have such little faith when you've chosen.
The one my father gave me broke.
Because it was the one your father gave you, not the one you chose. Choose the one you want to wield.
I bow, like all the way. Actually, I bow and I put my head against her lap.
You see her kind of wince in her chair, but she runs her hands through your hair. Go pick a winner if you're not comfortable with this one. I can send a word to the dragonsmiths to see if they've brought anything with them. If it's not a faith in your clan that you have. She smiles.
I look a little bit like to make sure there's nobody within earshot.
Mhm.
I feel a little out of my depth. My pillar in battle has left. And I worry about him.
I thought you were talking about Tamori for a second.
No. I've known Tamori for a while, but my brother.
Tamori's off wielding that pillar of battle somewhere else right now.
Ooh. Hey,
Tamori is young, has a lot of their life to live. And I worry that I might lead them into a situation that they will not walk away from. And I don't know if I can deal with that weight upon me if I do walk away from it. Which is why I gave them the blade.
And there,
That little dragon put some faith in me that I did not expect. It has to be earned.
so go and earn it.
I
She kisses
give her
the
a
top of your
kiss.
head.
Oh no! When she does that, I poke up and I give her a kiss on the lips. I'll be back.
I'll be here.
A kiss on the lips. You better be careful. You're getting a little saucy
I-
here.
Right, guys? Yo!
Easy. This is a family show.
I walk out
Mhm.
and I call to my kami
Oh,
and I say, "Guide me."
okay. And there is a breeze that picks up, soft, subtle, and it it swings back and forth for a moment. There's a little swirl of leaves in the air, and then they shoot off in a direction.
I just start going in that direction.
And you do end up at the dragon encampment.
The fates have spoken.
And you'll see Minamoto Kaiken just kind of stand there for a moment as he's watching you following leaves into the encampment.
Mhm.
And he comes over and just crosses his arms. So, you've either finally lost your mind or something has brought you here.
An old friend. I have I'm going to owe a lot of them. A favor to ask.
Ooh. Well. And he motions, and you see one of the peasants come over. My lord, he goes, go and fetch our freshest scrolls and our newest inks. We are going to have some records to keep track of. The crane have come asking for favors.
A favor.
He nods and runs off. He smiles as he looks at you. Semantics.
There.
But
I seek a blade.
woo. With your subpar techniques, Doji-san?
I raise my eyebrow and I go, you remember the story of what happened at the court when I was challenged?
I do.
I rose to the occasion. And yes, maybe in your eyes, my techniques may not be worthy.
It's one sword.
That's all you need.
But the guy comes back, the peasant comes back, their servant comes back with the scrolls and inks and starts writing down. And he says, let it be known in the day of our emperor, such and such, that Doji Izanagi has come asking for a favor, singular. And then he has you describe the favor to their servant. Be specific, Doji-san.
Let me let the dog out. Hold on.
Go. So while he's letting the dog out, how much of a lecherous pervert is Tamori?
What?
I wish to.
Hold on, because
Yeah, Peter.
hold on. I want to see how is there a safe word basically? Like how far is Tamori willing to push things? Because the Kuni is open-minded.
Is there a safe word? I feel like there's a safe word for every situation.
No.
That doesn't mean I'm a pussy bitch.
Ooh, woo. Okay.
It better be blueberry pancakes.
You do some
I
things.
feel like Tamori's the type of person that's like, I'll try anything twice.
Okay. So you try some things that you haven't tried before.
Perfect.
Toys are involved.
Toys.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
Whips.
This bitch came out of nowhere.
Whips and ropes.
You said she's not freaky. Was that sarcasm?
That is sarcasm. Yeah.
Oh,
She's
look at
crab.
you with the sarcasm.
She's crab.
She crazy. Well,
Yep.
why wasn't the other motherfucker crazy?
Who? James?
No.
Oh.
No,
Aguro?
fucking big guy.
Aguro?
Mhm.
Aguro's innocent. Don't you say an ill word about my boy.
Oguru's like a big baby. He's like a
I don't want to
boy.
think about having sex with a big baby.
He's an
I need this to stop.
innocent. He's like an innocent
I need that whole
fowl.
line of everything to stop.
Yeah. No, he was a virgin until the ball washing incident, bro. Like he's
All right, and then here, first of all, I don't even remember this bitch's name. What's her name? Hi, I feel like Mori in the middle of it. I don't even know if I said my name, but I feel like in the middle of it, Mori's like, "Oh shit, what is your name again?"
Sango.
Sango. Nice. Do you know who I am?
Yeah, of course. Say so
Okay,
has
got
written
it.
about you.
You know, I forget that like he's still a person outside
Out there in the world, yeah.
in the world.
In the world,
Got it.
yeah. This is
Got it, Sango.
Seizo's master. Like this is who taught him how to be a witch hunter.
When you were saying like lecherous to me, I don't know why that always correlates with like a peeping tom aspect, not like an adventurous sexual side. So I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not
Right.
watching nobody.
No, but would you allow yourself to be watched?
Depends on who it is. If it's some fucking old guy, no.
No, obviously. But would you be
But if
also
it's more women?
Yeah. I mean, she does ask before she does anything. So, but I'm just wondering, like,
Oh my gosh, I love a relationship like that.
perfect. So yeah.
Look at you.
So it is eye opening. but it does go the whole night. Since you said you were going to go the whole night, it does go the whole night, and there is a whole cavalcade, a list of things that she either introduces you to or that she just
Check it
shares
off.
with you. Yeah, it's a bucket list. Fuck it. So now going back to Peter, that you've let the dog out. How are you phrasing this favor from the dragon?
To ask for a specifically, I say katana.
Yep.
Actually, no. Hold on. That would be bad form. It has to be a katana wakizashi.
Daisho. Yeah.
It has to be a daisho. So I asked for a daisho from their stores of my picking. Which will indebt me to a favor that I will repay to him specifically.
Okay.
Upon a future date, or and I add to this, anytime he is in my lands, full hospitality and everything.
Okay.
He is always welcome to visit.
He checks over the writing. He shows it to you to make sure that there's nothing that's been added or ciphered in any way, shape, or form.
Mhm.
And then he has the servant sign as a witness. He has you put in your signature. He signs it as well. They throw the sand on it to help dry the ink. And then he takes you to where they have all of their weapons that they brought with them. And there are beautiful die shows that have been set aside already. Some even have the katanas wrapped because they're going to Shugenja, and so the only thing that they're really going to need is the wakizashi.
Mm-hmm. So I asked for a single candle.
They bring it.
I light the candle. I let the smoke start to go up. And again, I say, my friend, like you have guided me in the past, like you guided me over that pond the day my sister was born, guide my hand.
There is a very soft, very far thunder crack. You start to hear the pitter patter of rain, very soft. And the smoke starts to slither in a direction. And one of the die shows that has been set aside in this beautiful cherry stained stand, the wakizashi looks plain. It is whalebone and manta ray. The guard looks like a simple swirl, almost like if you're looking a bird's eye view of a hurricane. And as you unwrap the katana, you'll notice that the handle is ivory instead. The leather wrapping does not look like it comes from the sea, but rather the land itself. And the intricacies of the handguard defy human understanding of what a tornado or a hurricane should be. They're so accurate and so precise in the mathematical center of where the sword is that knowing before you pull the blade free that this is a sword of excellence, the sound of the flat sliding out of its cradle is subtle, almost non-existent. It's almost as if the blade and the hollow are made for each other. There's no rattling. It's a beautiful feeling to just pull the blade free. And the design of the hamon, where you can tell where the two metals interact, is not curved. It almost looks like it breaks in points, almost like waves crashing on a shore. But there is the unmistakable brand, the etching of a Mirumoto Smith that can be traced back to Mirumoto himself.
For a moment, when I noticed the brand,
Mhm.
I just closed my eyes for a minute. There's probably a tear. I turn, I close it, I put him on. I turn and I bow deeply to the dragon.
They bow as well.
Um,
And the Mirumoto looks at you. Is this to your specifications, Doji-san?
this is a superb work of art that I will carry with honor and grace until my dying day.
Excellent. I am glad that although that you are not trained in our art, that you at least carry dragon swords with you.
I carry a dragon in my heart and now at my side.
You are truly protected, my friend. And he claps you on the shoulder.
And I clap him on the other shoulder.
I still don't forgive you for taking my wife from me, but small favors.
Small favors. I look at him, I go, you know, the ones that I faced just recently were stronger than the others.
I've heard.
Much stronger. Just, it's worrisome.
If you need my blade, Doji-san, I will bring it.
And if you need mine. I bow down and I walk out.
The next day, the students are all invited again to the tea house to participate in the ritual kind of breakfast that Saruman, Bayushi Saruman, has offered them. And then they are walked over to the beginning of the obstacle course where they're drawing for their placement. The obstacle course is vast. It looks much more daunting than any Genpuku ceremony obstacle course has ever looked. There's water traps. There's false kind of like floors that have been hidden amongst there's a number of traps involved here that make this almost treacherous.
Who pissed in the engineer's sake?
And it definitely looks like some things were added last minute, but they signal the race to start, and they place everybody where they're going, and they take off. And it is wild at first. People are running full force, people are pacing themselves, and there is this moment where out of nowhere the ground just gives way under a big group that was all running together, and a lot of them just aren't prepared for that kind of thing, and only the Scorpion students manage to finagle their way out of that.
I was gonna say if a Shosuro doesn't place in the top 3, I riot.
But where's my kid?
Listen to the
in the hole.
Shinobi.
Shit.
In the hole. But the race concludes, and it is a surprising turn of events given the situation that happened during the first day of events. And the top 3 scoring clans are Scorpion first, Crab second, and then there is a tie between the Lion and the Crane. There is a break for lunch where all the students will be taken back to the tea house, and then they will draw again for where they're going to be placed. But for the evening event, it's going to be a test of painting. They're going to be given different vantages of the town, and the idea is that when you place all of the paintings together, you should get a nice kind of mosaic of the town, assuming that nobody is terrible at painting. While the students are eating, all of the mentors and teachers receive missives to go and meet with the daimyo. And when you are brought into the castle, you will see that he is alone with an advisor and one of his guards. And he doesn't look as into his cups as he has appeared the last couple days. He looks a little bit more dignified. He still has the dark circles. It almost looks like he's still struggling with what's happened to his family. And there's a moment where he has his advisor unfurl a scroll, and he says, "Just as a cordial decorum for everyone gathered, news has arrived just this morning. The Emerald Magistrate's arrival is anticipated to be sooner than expected. He is making better time than he thought he was going to, and he should be arriving a day or 2 before the duels are scheduled. This means that there will be a representative of the Emperor himself in our court. So, thank you. That will do." And as everybody's starting to get up, the daimyo holds up his hand, and the advisor says, yes, if Doji Izanagi, Tamori Mori, and Soshi Tetsuro could stay behind, the daimyo has something he wishes to discuss with the 3 of you, given your previous encounters in Shiromori Sato.
Of course.
And there's a couple of whispers as the 3 of you are singled out. Everybody starts to...
Once that gets said, I'm using my school ability to cast without giving any kind of impression, and I have invoked Benton's touch.
Okay.
So I have an extra 1k1 on all of my social walls.
Perfect. You're gonna need it.
Caught a hunch.
Yeah. And once all the other samurai and Shugenja are gone, the daimyo nods, and the advisor gives him another scroll. And then the advisor and the guard kind of step back. The daimyo looks up for the first time, and you can see that there is a great amount of pain in his face. He says, I want the murderers of my brother found and punished before this magistrate arrives. And if I have to show you the strength of the throne, he unfurls the scroll, and you see 3 other scrolls kind of splay out from it. One of them has the crane mon, one of them has the dragon mon, and one of them has the scorpion mon at the top of it, followed by a artist rendition of the actual family mon. He says, I have already asked your champions that any failure on your part is a forfeiture of your life to me. So now the stakes are the same for all of us. Feel free to read it if you want.
Don't need to.
I would
I'll
not
take your-
presume to doubt your eminence's literacy.
You're dismissed.
I bow.
I would like to try something wacky.
Oh, let's do it, bro. We're here.
This is the best time to do something wacky.
Yeah, when you're in front of the daimyo of the city, always.
Yep. So I have my the shadow arm is placed. It's tucked behind the back of the kimono. What I would like to do is subtly draw his attention back to Doji, either through body language or what
I was
just
going to
some way
ask
of getting
to read it. So if you want
perfect.
me to,
Yes, perfect.
I can.
So the idea is to keep his attention focused on the people actually going forward to look at it.
Mhm.
And I would like to use sleight of hand to put the arm in a better position. Because if this thing can draw in shadow taint,
Mhm.
I wonder if I could use a modified version of one of my kami spells to allow it to detect the presence of taint.
Okay.
I've never tried it. I don't know if it can do this.
Mhm.
It's time to find out.
Correct.
Because what's the worst that happens?
Why
I
not?
die in another one of your games?
Oh, what a joy that'll be.
Yeah.
So I'll ask to see when he says read it or whatever. I don't want to say that I snatch it,
Right.
but I'm not delicately picking up this piece of fucking paper.
Correct. And it does say that, in legalese, that your life is in his hands, and that should you fail, that he has all authority to do with your life what he pleases, and it is signed your father's name. It is signed, witnessed, and it is signed by the clan champion as well.
Okay. Sorry.
So would that be courtier or etiquette to keep the attention on Tamori Mori?
You want me to roll courtier or
No,
no.
I'm rolling.
Yeah. It would be courtier. You're using a court skill.
So that's a 29.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
And so will that give me any bonus to the sleight of hand? Because I'm trained in it, but I'm not great in it. And the idea is, the reason I'm going with sleight of hand is I don't want anyone to see the hand itself in practice.
Sure. I rolled your bonus for you, so you can go ahead and roll.
Thank you.
As is your me. I got you.
I appreciate you, and I value you. You are an ally and friend.
Thank you. I appreciate your appreciation of me.
17.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Given Tamori Mori's reaction to the paperwork, and given your kind of easily redirecting any attention that could have been considered in your direction, just kind of like shifting your body around to hide that side from all the onlookers, it's not hard to slide the arm down and around.
Okay. So then, I don't. Would this be a spellcraft roll, or would this be maybe a penalized version of sense?
We'll roll it a sense for now.
Okay.
You're
But
trying
like the spell sense, not
Yeah.
the. Okay.
Yeah, so you're trying to use your sense through the arm instead of through the actual ring that it's supposed to be attached to. So roll it through void.
Through void.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, you trying some nasty stuff.
Well, that is not where I am a Viking. My void is penalized because I have horrible nightmares.
Well, who chose nightmares for yourself?
I did, and this is on me. And I'm here we go.
Reaping what you sow.
25.
That's not bad. That's not bad. You were worried for no reason. You reach out and the arm fluctuates. It is there and not there for a moment. You can feel where the tips end. You can feel it rubbing against your body, and then you don't feel it at all. But the moment that it vanishes from your senses, there is a hunger that suddenly overtakes you. And there is this sensation of a thirst, like your throat is parched. You're needing something.
Yeah.
Sorry, do I have a sense of
I'll see.
where that is coming from? Am I getting it from the magistrate, or am I getting it from something else in the environment?
It's something in the estate.
Okay.
There's something
What did you say?
here.
Yeah.
And you didn't reach out with enough accuracy to pinpoint where it is, but you definitely know that if you were to step out of the estate, that sensation would be gone.
Kind of without meaning to,
Mhm.
he abruptly starts walking into the estate deeper.
Okay.
Then let us commence our search. And I'm trying to keep it sustained so I can guide myself towards.
Yeah.
And I'm aware that this means the arm will have to be exposed the entire time,
Mhm.
which is bad.
Yeah.
For me.
Might just be.
Yep. So
Especially because at the heart of the estate is a koi pond and garden.
yeah, and those are beautiful and tasty.
Correct.
So I start trying to hone in on it.
I see him get up like an NFL.
Okay. Yeah, and you see
Besides,
that
I want to get out of this room. I want to get out of this room as quickly as possible.
Yeah. There's a bulge that is now visible. And then as he steps, it's almost like you imagined it. Like it almost looks like there is an extra bit of his right-hand side, and then it just kind of drapes again. But Does
I
Tamori is Tamori looking for anything in particular when they read the scroll?
No, the moment they see that like their father is supposed to be the main person in charge, they're just like, oh, okay. So this is just a piece of paper. Cool, cool, cool. Here you go.
Okay.
Hands it back.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say that there is the language used, like if you even glance at the crane writing or the scorpion writing, like the writing used to describe how useless you have been to the clan compared to them, like it is vulgar.
Yeah, I'm sure. That's why I was like, let me take a little gander. I'm like, oh, something I don't care about again.
Yeah. It's almost like, thank you for doing me this favor of getting rid of this nuisance. Is the underlying tone of the message, the missive. Yeah. But you will
No
notice
worries.
that Soshi and Doji start to make their way out of the room. Soshi's
I
more like he's on
will-
a mission. Doji's just kind of following behind.
I would like to hand the paperback with a very big shit-eating grin and a slight nod.
The advisor
like-
comes over and takes it from you.
You got it. And like finger guns out the door. Nah.
Perfect.
That piece of paper ain't gonna work, fam. But that's okay. Good job. Good try.
And you two will follow the Soshi to the pond at the heart of the estate. And you can see that the Lady Daidoji is sitting. She is having some collection of scrolls being read to her. And she smiles at the three of you as she recognizes the two faces that helped save her life back in Shiramori Sato. And she kind of gives a curt nod to the Soshi, sorry. But what does it look like for Soshi to look for this thing? Yep, muted. Good for once per game.
Yep, good once for game. I haven't done it in a while. That was my once. As he's stalking through the halls, he realizes that he's being incredibly reckless, and that is thrilling because he very rarely gets to be reckless. And he disguising it as a show of respect for the household. He takes his hat off because he has one of those large wide-brimmed hats and kind of puts it, over his chest. Like he's kind of holding it to himself. But under the hat, the other hand, the shadow hand, is basically like the fingers are twitching and almost like an audible clacking as the claws kind of come in and come out. And he's concentrating on the way his fingers are twitching. He's concentrating on the hunger. He's trying to draw. He's operating on the assumption that the energy that forms this thing is primal and not human, and therefore it relies on very simple instincts, hunger being the predominant one.
Yeah.
He knows one of the things it eats, so he's hoping that its senses are going to lead him to the greatest source of food, which in this case would be taint.
Yeah.
Please don't talk about food. I'm so fucking hungry right now.
Yeah. Listen, bro, I'm not gonna mention that the koi's in the pond could be turned into like nice little fillets and
Delicious.
you could just
Oh, let's.
Fillets.
Hey, if this is a tainted koi, koi pond, we've got bigger
Bagels.
problems.
Yeah, there's a moment where
As we're walking,
Mhm.
I'm going to say quickly, Tetsuo-san, should I be worried?
You? No. Yes.
Are you in the pond or are you at the pond, like standing over the pond?
Standing in the middle of the pond.
Yeah, he has not. Well, he's not like trompsing through the fish, but like it depends on where he's feeling the impressions from. If the hunger says go to the middle of the pond, he's going to at least stop and look at the middle of the pond.
Okay. Now, as you're standing over the pond itself, with this beautiful collection of colored rocks that create this rainbow-like pattern of a border to the water that is reflected in the collection of colored selections of the koi itself. Like these are not typical gold koi. Like these are colored koi. There's whites and blacks and there's shades of red and blues. Like these are almost look like they were hand selected to fit the aesthetic of the border. There's a moment where all the koi in the water stop, and there is this burst of mist as the water is flash boiled. There is a burn of a kanji symbol in the center of the koi pond for time. And then you hear this cacophony of wood shattering and people screaming, and in the four cardinal directions you will see just this eruption of wood and bone and sinew of anyone caught in this explosion, this massive rupture of a symbol, and everyone goes scattering for cover as the debris starts to come down around them. The thing about it is the northern point is short compared to the southern one. The east and west explosions are equidistant. This feels like this is a kanji that has been etched into this entire estate from the top down. And it is the kanji for 10.
As all the explosions start to happen,
Mhm.
I will cover my cousin with my body.
Yep.
I literally grab her and I push her underneath me and I cover her.
Yeah. The symbol for time that appeared in the pond is the epicenter of the cross. If you've never seen the kanji for 10, it is literally just a cross. But you are safe. It is almost like you were placed in one of the safe quadrants. But you can see that part of one of the arms went right through the antechamber to the court in the estate. And you can see that some of the samurai that were still kind of lingering around, waiting to talk to the daimyo after he was done with you guys, they're in bad shape. It looks like one of the Lion Clan teachers was caught right in the middle of the explosion. There's the more you look, the more you see the blood splatter of all of those that were caught. And it looks, now that the dust is settling and people are trying to figure out what happened, it almost looks like this was stamped. Like some celestial being just came down and stamped the cross into the estate itself. Did not explode upwards. It looks like it was caved inward.
And a
Mhm.
catastrophe happens the second we leave the room, therefore potentially singling us out as the people that caused it in the minds of the paranoid. But luckily, that's not what happened, and it totally wasn't us. We didn't do it.
Some of the guards
just a
are
happy
looking
accident.
at the three of you. Luckily, it wasn't immediate. Like you didn't leave, and then this happened. Like you took some time to walk to.
That would have been fun.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a frame job right there.
Yeah.
I will pick up my cousin, look at the guards, and tell them, get her out of here.
And they immediately rush in to do what you've said.
Do I stop and heal people because I have healing magic, or do I continue to find this thing? Yeah, I can't let go.
Yeah.
No, don't.
Then I'll be on pulling bodies out of ditches duty.
Yeah. There's a moment where you're contemplating your options, and as you look at some of the wounded, as you look back at the koi pond, there's a moment where the arm dissipates and the sensation of hunger, that sensation of parched, dry lips and a dry throat is gone. Whatever was here is no longer here.
I know it's going to be a freaking 1 in a million, but I have been reading up on Maho. I have been reading up on it. Nobody here knows I've been reading up on it.
Right. So as your wife.
But I've been reading up on it.
Correct.
Yeah. So I will want to roll a spellcraft because I am trained.
Ooh.
Using my perfect memory.
Yeah.
To see if anything clicks.
Okay. Let's have you roll your spellcraft. Let's do it with awareness instead of intelligence.
Okay.
Whereas my character is a far better investigator than the player is.
Correct.
I'm going to fall back on what brought me to the dance. I am going to look for some kind of mundane clue that might give us some direction to go in on how to figure this out. Because Ben is tapped for his brain power here on potential leads. So
you have an emphasis on
searching.
Searching, so that'll help you. So go ahead and roll your emphasis. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, let me roll.
I'm gonna start pulling bodies out of ditches, but I have a little bit of medicine, so I think I'm gonna roll for medicine to see how many people I can help.
Sure, you can help out with some of the first aid stuff that's going on.
Let's see.
Yeah, so 25, 27 for Doji, 15 for Tamori. That's not terrible, and 17 for Soshi.
That's awful.
Yeah, it's not. You're like
it's not my best.
Yeah,
for you that's awful.
Yeah, that's
because
Tamori level rolling.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I mean, fix your life. So Doji will definitely have a sense of Maho was used here. This was a show of force. This is a sign being said. But you also know that this is reactionary. This was done because someone has ferreted the Maho out. This is a warning. Soshi will see that the koi have all taken a drab sheen, almost like their color is being sapped from them, like they're falling into a black and white television show from 1080p HD. But all of the color is seeping in your direction. Tamori will help the process and actually help put arms in slings and help remove some of the debris and things like that. The estate was attacked.
Was this symbol okay? Because it was reactionary. So those symbols hasn't always been here. This happened in reaction to us coming up here.
Correct. The koi pond was lovely, quiet, and then the water flash boiled into mist, and in the center of the pond was burned the kanji for time.
Okay, so my question is, when this happened, knowing what I know about this type of magic, how close does somebody have to be to do this?
At least within line of sight.
I start looking around for anybody staring at us.
Yeah, my question was going to be...
My eyes go up, and I just start looking
Everybody's staring
around.
at you.
No, but
anybody
there's a certain look that I'm looking for.
I want to know. I want to see if I noticed in that moment, and you can give it a souped up DC because it's kind of retroactive. Anyone who didn't flinch.
Oh,
is there
or was prepared in some way? Didn't blink, didn't flinch. Someone that knew this might happen.
Yeah,
Can we all roll for investigation at the same time?
Sure. What are you What are you trying to investigate?
Same shit. Who's suspicious as fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Please God, make this work.
This is all retroactive, so it will be higher than normal.
Where I'm looking for human reactions, would that be sincerity or would this still be investigation?
No, it'll still be investigation.
Okay.
I'm looking. Okay, I know it's kind of cinematic, but I'm looking for that lock of eyes between enemies.
Sure.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking at it because I'm like, which one of you
forgot to
motherfuckers? So I got a 27.
Yeah. So did Soshi.
I also got a 27.
I got a 7 fucking teen, so at least it's not a 7.
Yeah.
Hey, you're rolling over 10 today.
Yeah. Tamori, yeah, though that's huge. That's a huge win.
It's huge.
Just like me, that's huge.
Tamori is pretty sure they didn't do it.
Exactly right. You got it, guys. I'm so sorry. I'm helping everybody else at the same time.
Like you look and you see the Doji and Soshi are both like just eyeballing people. They're like hawks looking for their next prey, and you're like, oh yeah, what's up? Who did what? And you start looking around. You're like, I ain't seen shit.
I don't know who the fuck you are, but you're going the fuck down.
The second I find you, I'm gonna break your face.
I'm gonna get you, bitch.
I'm gonna get you. But
basically, the first person Doji swings at.
Yeah. But the only people that look out of place in any way, shape, or form, are just the samurai that are trained to kind of be ready for this kind of thing. So the other mentors, the other teachers, are looking to the two of you, to the three of you, honestly, because at least everyone knows that you've been through something similar in Shiromori Sato. And so, as far as that is concerned, they're the only ones that actually look out of place. But peasant-wise, nobody is staring. Everybody's just like working. Nobody seemed prepped for it.
So I know that this is very Sherlock Holmes.
Sure.
But I do have perfect memory. I close my eyes and I replay the moments right before the explosion.
Okay. I will let you roll again your investigation, and instead of perception,
Yeah.
tie it to intelligence.
Okay.
Since you're picking out a memory.
Okay. And let's go. Ah!
Yeah. 16 is unfortunately not a great number for this. You close your eyes, you replay the incident as best as possible. There's a moment where you heard this strange kind of click clack sound coming from Soshi. You remember kind of tilting in his direction to see if he was doing something. And then the movement of the koi stopping brought you back, and as you swung your head back in the direction, that's when everything kind of flash boiled. The steam rose up, and there was this wall of white that obscured your vision momentarily of the Daidoji, her servants, and the kind of guards that are there. And then it was that burning of the kanji, and then almost instantly after that, it was just a crushing, crashing sound of the wood and the screams, and you're brought back, and you're just like, there is something you're missing, but there is something you cannot catch.
It's something I was going to ask you before and I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm down to 1 void, but it's been a while. Am I back up?
You can be back up, yeah.
Okay, so if I am back up,
Mhm.
can I spend a void point to re-roll that?
I don't think you can spend void to reroll. I think it's just
I don't know if you can.
It's just to add a one, keep one to a
Okay,
roll.
never mind. I should have
No.
said that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll look up to see if you can reroll, and if you can, I'll let you reroll before we start next time.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't remember that being one of the abilities you could do with void.
I don't think so, actually. I'm thinking I got it mixed up with another game.
Yeah.
Okay.
You playing other games on the side?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, I'm
Yeah.
about to do something super dumb.
Okay.
Well, not super dumb,
Do
but
it.
I look back at everybody assembled,
Mhm.
and I just kind of say, I don't suppose anyone knows who is responsible for this.
And everybody starts to look around, and there's a moment where right as somebody is about to step towards your direction, like you can see people just kind of like looking around, talking to each other, you hear the bell go off to announce the evening portion of the Kenpupu ceremony. And this is where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Ding.
Ding.
So-
Yeah, my determined whether the last thing someone said was a lie spell was my final gambit.
Yeah.
I was hoping to
Yeah.
catch somebody in a.
Anybody know who
You know,
did this?
I have no idea who it is. Ding, 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 ding.
That's a liar. That's a liar.
I was
Yes.
hoping.
Fucking one of yous.
Tangle this man's. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for coming back for L5R. I want to thank the audience for joining us for this game. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite systems, and I hope that it is one of yours as well. So as always, let's give you guys a chance to plug whatever you're doing. So Doji-san, what are you up to, and where can people find you on the internet if you want to be found?
Instagram, you can find me under Stat Monkey. Currently, Paradigm Concepts is gearing up for a Kickstarter for Codex of Adventures Volume 2.
Nice.
I'm working on the quick start rules for Rotted Cape 2nd Edition, which we're going to be releasing into the wild at some point
Ooh,
for people to try out the system.
okay.
And there's a game that we kind of tried to develop a few years ago that we're going back to, which we should be announcing soon.
Ooh.
So we have another game, something that we've been wanting to work on for some time. Some of our old fans might know about it because we even did a cover and everything for it, and then the entire project fell apart.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
excited to
but
hear what
we
it
have
is.
somebody really awesome working on it.
Okay.
It's a name that when you hear it, you are going to be like, holy shit.
Okay.
And I'll tell you about it off screen.
You got it. Tamori-san, where can people find you and what are you up to if you want to be found on the internet?
I am here every Tuesday, and then I don't want to be found right now, so I'll be in my kitchen making macaroni and cheese because I'm fucking hungry.
That sounds delicious.
Yum.
Yeah, so hurry up, Ben. Let's
Yeah.
finish. Let's wrap this shit up. I'm ready to
I
go.
promise I
Toshi,
have
what
not
are
a
you
lot
up to?
going on.
Yeah, what are you up to? Where can people
Uh,
find you on the internet if you want to be found?
So it's Rev_Ben_Powers on the artist formerly known as the Bird app, where you can find my takes on professional wrestling and role playing,
Correct.
as well as shouting my indignation into the void. I will
That's
be
true.
playing Monster of the Week on McStabber Studios. Their channel is fantastic. I will be playing that on Monday, the 26th. Where I will be playing Artie Manzini, the group's
That name did not look funny until you said it out loud. Now I can't stop laughing at it.
Artie Manzini. Can't wait. This is going to be great. Team 2, going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it
In the
too.
interest of letting our friend go make their macaroni and cheese,
Yeah.
I'm going to shut up now.
Excellent. Succinct as always, but thank you guys again for being here. As always, we take mental health on the channel very seriously, so please know that it is okay to not be okay, and if you're not okay and you're watching live, there are phone numbers going up in our Twitch chat, so you can reach out and get some help if you feel like you need it. If you're not in the United States, or if you don't do well with phone calls and text messages, there's a link going up for findahelpline.com. So you can find the resources in your area, or resources that will accommodate those kind of necessities. Taking the first step is always going to be the hardest and the scariest, but just know that there are people out there who want to help you and who are trained to help you. So please, if you feel like you need help, there are resources, and I urge you to check them out. If you're a friend or or a family member of a happy-go-lucky or kind of like a strong personality, kind of check in on them. Send them a hello or how are you text messages, because you never know how much that might change the trajectory of somebody's life. And as always, Mondays are for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Tuesdays, as you've seen, are for Legend of the Five Rings or Werewolf the Wild West. And Thursdays are for 7th Sea or Old Gods of Appalachia. And just like Ben, you can catch me being a player at McStabber Studios on Wednesdays, where right now I get to play a La Sombra in their Dark Ages vampire game who has never committed any war crimes in his life. I'm just a lovable scamp running around the Transylvanian woods, being a hero to the people. Typical stories. So as always, thank you guys for allowing me to be your storyteller. Thank you for joining us, the audience, and we will see you when we see you guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.